Who is the guy?
Ideally, is this going to be similar to early Protestants?
Much faster. Much faster. You know, I'd like to say we could play like the '96 team at Kentucky, but you know, that's impossible. I had 7 pros on the team, so I'd love to play at that pace and to pass the ball like they. I mean, that was the greatest passing team. The more I watched that team, the more I realized the true strength of that basketball team was their passing. You know, it wasn't the full court press, and it wasn't the shooting, but by far the greatest asset of that team was their passing ability. Never seen a team pass like that. So, you know, passing is what this team is all about, and no one player handles the ball. So you're more apt to turn the ball over. You'll always see a low turnover team with a dominating point guard. The ball's in his hands, he doesn't turn it over, and the other big guys don't handle the basketball. That's not this system. This system, the 4-man will handle the ball almost as much as the 2 and 3.
With the passing, you'll be paying close attention to the assist-to-turnover ratio and the stats of...
Yeah, that was one of the disappointing things so far in the scrimmages, is 3, 4, and 5. The reason the white team beats the red team is Gorky, Van Treese, and Mara, even though they turn it over just as much as TJ, Rock, and Kyle, they have much more assists. Rock, TJ, and Kyle, they don't get many assists, where Gorky gets a lot of assists. They'll turn it over, and Van Treese will get a lot of assists, and the other guys don't. That's the difference in the two teams. But everybody's going to have fun. The players are having fun. I'm having fun coaching it. You'll have fun watching it. Now we got to put it into wins.
Do recruits respond to that style as well?
Well, nobody's seen it yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I guess the idea of wanting to run and get out.
Yeah, but we've always run, just not at this pace. I mean, we're always a running team, and I think we've played such good zone the last few years. Is one, we pressed, it made you take 8 seconds, or made you take a long time in the backcourt. Then we had a very confusing zone, so we made you, even though we ran on offense, we made you take a lot of time on their offense, and that's slowed down the game a little bit. Hopefully now we won't be good enough defensively to slow down the game.
Who is the guy that's in the best shape right now with this? Richie Siva, is his fitness, or who's the guy that you think is, from a fitness standpoint, in the best position for you?
I think it'd be a number of guys. I think you'll never see Kyle Purick sweat, so you'll think he's the guy. You know, he never sweats. You know, he mentally or physically. You know, he's the type of guy that goes into a calculating and there's not a bead of sweat on him. So he never shows that he's tired. He runs all day. He's like our John Havlicek. But whether he's in better shape than Peyton, I don't know. Whether he's in better shape than Chris Smith, I don't know. I would say, though, if I had to guess, Peyton. Van Treese runs the most on the team. He works the hardest. But Purick and Siva don't get tired.
Defense as a whole, how have they made a lot of strides adapting to the man-to-man that you want to play?
They're making strides. I don't know how we're playing against each other. You really can't tell. You know, in the first half the other day, we did a very good job in Northern Kentucky. The second half, we did a very poor job of containing the basketball. They made the adjustment of going more one-on-one off the dribble. We switched very well in the first half. We played their sets very well, but when they started going one-on-one off the bounce, we didn't do a good job.
What about the emphasis from the rest this year on some of the body fouls and the hand checks and stuff like that? Is that worrisome to it? Maybe
I don't think it's worrisome for us. I think it's worrisome for some teams that check their cutters, and they're not letting you get away with that. You know, teams like the strong, aggressive defensive teams that chuck cutters and put their hands on them and blitz into the man, that's worrisome for them. We switch a great deal, so that's not as worrisome for us.
Are you interested to see how that's going to be called? Because every year it seems like the refs come out and say this is the point of emphasis, and it is for about 2 weeks, and then it sort of goes away.
I agree with you. I think the Commissioner of Officials for the Big East came in and said the points of emphasis right now from John Adams of the NCAA is to call the rules in the book. Call the rules in the book. And then I asked him, does that go for coaches swearing at officials in the middle of the floor when we should win the game, and 7 times last year. He got a chuckle out of that.
Anything else for Coach?
All right, we'll get together tomorrow on the recruits, and we'll still have 1 or 2 recruits out there that we are recruiting. We just got something on a very good player right now that we're recruiting, and probably it will not be the end for us. So, but we will announce for tomorrow for you and talk about them at that point.